Hey guys, this is Maduba John from MJC Designs. Welcome to today's video tutorial. Today I'm going to show you guys how to use Cadimage for your roof covering in Archicad 25. If you're new here, kindly subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification button so you don't miss videos like this. Now let's get started, guys. So this is the project I want to use for this particular tutorial. And the first thing you do is select your roof. Make sure your 3D is right in a 3D mode, just like this. You select your roof and you go to your Cadimage settings, go to covering and go to roof covering. Then the Cadimage dialog will open and you can start setting whatever settings you want to do. Okay, so in these settings, I'm going to show you what is not necessary and what is necessary. The first, undercladding, you select any type of roof style you want. There is flat, which is this. There is corrugate, which is this. There is reed, which is this. There is shingle, which is this. There is tiles, which is this. And there is Spanish tiles, which is this. Now it all depends on what you want. So I'm going to use tiles. You can see here, right here, we have settings, numbers that we can always play with. Now, this A means this distance from this distance, which is 300 mm. Okay. And then we have from here to here B, which is 350 mm. And then 15 thickness, which is the thickness of the shingle. And then we have 440, which is the overhang. So by default, this is what it gives us. Now it now depends on what you actually want as a setting. So most times I usually make this to be 450. So but I prefer to use this because I want it to be a little bit longer. 450. So we have on the right hand side here appearance, which is the material of your roof shingle, which is your roof covering. Okay, this is, select this and you can always select materials you want, type of color you want as your roof. Okay, we'll select something like, let's just leave it at black. Then you go to next. You go to next and you see gable end wall. We don't need this because we are using pitch roof. This right here, we don't need it, so I'm going to just leave it at that. As you can see, it is none. Make sure it is none, so we don't need it. Framing, include framing. We don't need it. For me, I don't need it. This is the frame, like the purline and the rafters under your roof. I don't need it because it's not going to show in my 3D, except you want to use it for your section, which I still think you don't need it, because if you need it, you are going to be using it on the original roof of Archicad. So you're going to be adding that in Archicad instead of adding that in Cadimage roof. So I think you don't need it, so don't include. You skip this right here, badge board, match to facial. Okay, we can check or we can just leave it at that, but for now we don't need it. Edge board, we'll come back to this. If we need it, we'll come back to it. Let's go further. If we need this, we'll always set it. Go further. If we need this, we'll set it. Now the essence of this is all these colors. If we need it, we'll always come back for it. So I just want you to go to the main thing we need to set. Now look at this. Soffit, sloping, right? It has sloping, which was the settings I did before. So make sure that you have it in sloping. This soffit is the more like ceiling covering your roof extension from your wall. It is covering the underneath of your roof. So you can have it as sloping if you want it to slope along the roof, but you can have it as flat if you want it to cover horizontally to your wall. You might not understand what I mean, but for this purpose, because I have concrete facial, I'm just going to have it as sloping and make sure all these figures are 0. Now for this flashing, just put it as flat for now. Then if we have to change it later, we'll come back to it. And this badge flashings, then this is flat, which I usually use to cover the ridge, okay, of the roof, just like this. So I prefer flat. You can always change it to flat, different types of flats. You can always flat roll, and there is square rib, there is square tiles, round tiles. So it depends on what you want. I prefer flat. And the figures are there for you to see. 15, 150 for B, this, 70 for A, from here to here, 70, and then C, thickness of C is 10, 12 is D. It's fine. So make sure your texture you're using is the same with your roof, or except you want it to be different. So you can always leave it at that, or use uniform flashing surface, okay? Make sure this is checked so that they are uniform with what you are doing. And go to next. Okay, hip ridge flashing. Okay, now see, from this badge flashing which we selected flat, it's going to take that settings, okay? As you can see, match badge flashing. So because we are saying match badge flashing, it's going to take that setting we have from this, okay, it's going to transfer it to the ridge and hip of this roof. So if you remove this, you have to start setting all this again. But it's always good to have it uniform, okay? Just make sure you just match badge flashing, so you don't have to set it all over again. And make sure this is what you picked. This right here is selected, okay? And your materials are the same with what you have. And then this right here, apron flashing, okay? If we need this, we'll always come back for it. This is valley flashing. Valley flashing, just like this edge here. Okay, we need it, so we are going to leave it at this from the default settings. Okay, that's it. Gutter. If we need gutter, we can always turn on gutter. There are different types of gutter that you can always add. Okay, so if we need gutter, you can always turn on gutter and then add pipe down to it. But for this 3D, I don't intend to add gutter. But if there is a need for that, I'll always, okay, let's add gutter to it. Now let's add this type. Okay, this is what we are going to select, and you can always adjust the settings. Like for A, from here to here, 120 is okay. B, the height, 70. If you're okay, fine. If you're not okay with it, you can always increase it to 80. And C, the drop from the roof to this edge here. So you can see it is a 0. So just leave it at 0. D, they leave it at 0, which means it's not needed. And then we have C, which is the thickness of this bend. And F, which is the height from here to here, 82. If F is 82, then this B from here to here should be around 90 or 100. Okay, so in the gutter appearance, all depends on what we want. We can always make it to be black or something lighter, like let's use this for instance. Okay, so go to next. This is the downpipes. Okay, you can add the type you want, but when you activate your roof covering, right, your Cadimage roof covering, it won't show. You have to draw it out. Okay, you have to draw it out for it to show. So now this is it. We need it. If you need it to be rectangular, you can always select rectangle, so you can have a rectangle pipe. Some people use rectangle and it's fine too. And then all these numbers, you start setting it. Just look at the numbers. Okay. You start setting them like so. C, this is 200. C, okay. And D, this is 800. F, just like so. And then the angle here, just like so. Okay. And this angle here, as you can see. So when you activate it and see what it looks like in your 3D, that's when you can now start adjusting all these settings to fit what you want. So for now, we don't have any other settings we are checking here. So you just say okay. So guys, our roof is here. As you can see, our roof and the gutter, as you can see, neatly done. Okay, so it remains adding the down pipe. You can add that manually, or you can use that which is coming from the CAD image. And you can always change the outline of this CAD image roof from green to something like black. Okay, we're going to do that now. This is where you change them, change it to black or this color. As you can see, after having changed that, we can see it. You see, uniform, flashing, gutter. You see, so they take the same color, okay? Because we have all these settings: uniform, flashing, and gutter pen. You can see, so they take the same color, like so. For this now, this is different. You can change it, but you can leave it at that because we didn't even touch it. So you can see, so the pen, they are all the same. Okay, so let's say okay. So it looks like the color didn't change, so we have to go back to the settings and try to see why it's not changing. As you can see here, attribute, so we change it to black or this. As you can see, we have successfully changed the outline, so it looks presentable like this. Now we can make the downpipe show right from the CAD image by dragging this node you see here, this node here, this pink color right here. That's the gutter. Okay, you just select one of the roof panel, the CAD image roof panel, one of it, and then you pick and just drag. It will appear. Okay, so you can always adjust it. Go to the floor plan. Okay, go to second floor. This dot represents the downpipe. You can always adjust it to the position you want. Like so. So we don't even know where we are dragging it to because there is no reference. Let's turn on reference if it will show what is below. As you can see, it's not showing what is below. It's not showing what is below. I'm going to just turn off this roof. Let me turn it off. Okay, so we can see what is below. Okay, this is what is showing, which is the concrete fascia. Okay, so I'm going to check where the end of the wall starts, if it is this point or this point. Let's go back to our 3D. Okay, this point, this is where the wall starts. As you can see, this point, this thick line here. Okay, so that's what we are going to use as our reference to where we want the pipe to be. So let's turn on the, if we still want to be seeing the plan itself, the ground floor plan itself, this plan, so you can see the windows and where it's falling on, we can always go and adjust what we actually want to see. So I'm going to say browse for trace reference and turn on this. Okay, I just selected ground floor now, and then I'm going to select the ground floor as our trace reference. When you go to the second floor, the trace reference will not be the current floor below. It will be the specific floor I want it to show. Okay, so I want this to show so that I will know where I am dragging that pipe down. Okay, so as you can see, the pipe is still around this zone. You can drag it here. That means the pipe is here. This is what signifies the pipe. Okay, if we don't want it there, we can make it, can centralize it, maybe put it somewhere around here. See, our trace reference is helping us know where we are supposed to put it, as you can see. Now this dot means where it is right now, close to the wall. We'll pick this one and push it down here like this. Let's go back to our 3D and see what we have. Let's undo, push this out like this, because we're not getting what we want, so we have to get what we want. Okay, now I just push this last one and this followed it, so let's see what we have on our 3D if it is correct. As you can see, it looks like it's correct, but not actually on the wall. Okay, so we push it again. Let's see how many distance from here, maybe by 2. You just gauge it and shift it. So most times I don't use this particular pipe from the CAD image. I use a separate pipe just to get my work really fast, because this is going to slow you down, but I'm just showing you to illustrate that it's possible to use this CAD image pipe. So we are going to adjust these settings here, this height from here to here. Go down to the pipe from that C. Let's make it 290. As you can see, you can increase it. So now this is it. This is how you can always pull down your pipe. Anyways, I will suggest that you use an external pipe. An external pipe, it's flexible, it's easier, it's faster. It will not give you this issue trying to set and it's not working. I tried to change the angle here, it's not working. So it will not give you too many problems trying to fix it. Let's try to fix a down pipe manually. Let's type pipe. I will look for Archicad pipe. Let's down pipe. Okay. So this is for down spouts. Okay. So this is for Archicad. That one is for Cadimage. So we select this. Just type down. It will bring out some of this option here. Okay. So we can always set it. This is rectangular, this is round, and this is corrugated. It has round edges, so I'll prefer to go with this. This is head leader. Okay, so you select it and click this to see the types. We have different types, so you just pick this. Try to see some of the settings we have. So you can see it has more settings than the Cadimage. That's the elbow for the down and for the top. So you can always click this to check the down to know what you are setting. This is 45. Okay, you can make it 30 if you want. And then the distance. This is for the top. Same thing. Depends on what you want. For the type of we have, let's make it 15 or 5 instead, but we can make it 15. Or let's see what 70, 80 gives us. Let's give it 80. So I will just put it here like this. Just drop it down. Then you rotate according to the direction. I think I rotated the copy. So this is obviously the part resting on the wall. You can see, we check the dimension here from here to here, which is remaining 122. So go back to the settings, but before then, let's see what it looks like. Okay, that means this pipe is quite big. We are going to reduce it, as you can see. Reduce it 70 by, or this is supposed to be 50 by 70. Okay. And then this from here to here, I think is 50. Then from here to here, horizontal offset, I think this is it. So we are going to add that 122 is 522 to it. So I'm going to try to reduce this to the head leader, what do they call it? This. Okay, so we are trying to reduce it, the weight, maybe 150. The height, maybe 150. So the depth, let's leave it at that first. Okay, this is fine. So we can maybe go to our front elevation. As you can see, we just adjusted that, so just shift it here. As you can see, it falls in the pipe, the gutter. So let's go to our front elevation. If you don't have, you can draw your front elevation. This is it. Just drag it up. Okay, we can, looks like we can elevate this. Let's see if this top is affected. Is affected. So let's check this. As you can see, so I'm moving this node. As you can see, so we can always move the node from the look of things. So we can move it. Okay, so but it's better for it to have an angle like this. This is fine. Just move it a bit. Or let's see this, if it affects the height. Okay. So let's go back to our 3D. Oh, it's affecting it. Shift this up, elevate it. Let's go back to adjust that very well. So this is it. And all these supports, you can always change the settings, obviously. Uniform, I think this is it, hanger. Okay, so this gives you the distance between each of them. You can use 450. Okay, that's it right there. You can change it. You can say 600. So that's it. Now, as you can see, the boat looks good, but I'll always go for this. This is easier to, I can always copy at every distance I want and rotate it. Okay, just copy. But for this Cadimage, you have to start bringing them down again from this point, the purple point I showed you, or the pink point I showed you, node. So it's better after putting the gutter, you add this separately. Okay, you might want to ask, what if I want to remove it? I've never really removed it before, but I'm going to try it here for the first time. What I'm going to do is, I'll select this. All right, I'll pick this parameter now by holding down my Alt down. click it. Then I'll press my Ctrl and Alt down and inject to see if it will remove. As you can see, it has removed. I've never done it before, but as you can see, it has removed, right? And it has also affected my gutter. Let's use this part to do point. As you can see, so it has corrected my gutter. Some of these things you just have to try it and see what it does. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.